Hello, beloved soul. Welcome to my channel, Celestial Oracle Codes. We're going to ring our bell of truth here to get rid of any negativity. All right. And we're going to tap in and we're going to see what messages want to come through. We'll get you a couple of, or a few, I guess, messages. I don't know why it came out as 3 right there. It's like a couple. It definitely said 3. And so we'll do 3 messages of light, and then we'll get you on your way and send you all kinds of Reiki blessings and light and love to ensure you have a wonderful day. All right. So let's, first out. So like I didn't even have time to tap on into the cards, but we have the Queen of Cups energy, and this is you. You're showing up as Queen of Cups energy, so you're showing up as the sovereign being, this new capacity for not only feeling emotionally, but having a handle on your emotions. Being the sovereign authority over your emotions, your feelings, your life, and your overall intimacy, and the giving of the intimacy, and the giving of emotions and emotional capacity on all energetic levels. So this is like a level up in your emotional intelligence, and this is also a level up in the emotional receptivity that you have. So this is you maybe accepting compliments easier. This is you not shying away from a praise, being praised, and gratitude, and or the acknowledgement from others, and for the things that you do, and for just who you are as a person. This is you embodying a new level of emotional capacity, which increased your bandwidth for the emotional experiences that are now available to you and accessible to you in reality. So wow, what a beautiful way to start this reading. So what other messages or insights want to come out right now? Let's just go ahead and see. Ooh, okay, we got a couple. All right, so let's see what we got. So we have the 8 of Swords. In the past, this was more of the energy. You felt bound, you felt like you were trapped, you didn't know which way to go. There was a big uncertainty over the course of your life, and you didn't realize that there was an emotional slipstream that was basically right underneath you. See how she's like standing in the flow of some kind of stream, and it's leading from this kind of castle on the hill back here? Well, for this particular reading, what this signifies is somehow you turned your back on what you knew. I don't know if you decided to get rid of and uproot your life or cut off certain people, but some environment that you were in before you completely turned your back on. When you walked away, it left you in this place where you were kind of blindsided. You didn't know exactly where to go or exactly what you wanted to do. But in the end, ultimately, there was some kind of emotional attachment, be that via a person, or some kind of emotional fulfillment that you found, maybe in a class, a skill, a hobby, or some kind of community and group. It could be any of those things that led to an emotional fulfillment, but also that led to an emotional upliftment, which meant that you could get out of that blind or blindfolded state of being or energy. So what that led you to was a judgment, this new balance that you found in your life. And through that balance that you found in your life, let's see what came out after that. Through the balance that you found in your life, yes, okay. So through the balance that you found in your life, it led you into the Queen of Wands energy. And once you got into the Queen of Wands energy, you not only realized your self-worth, you realized all that you could manifest in this life. You realized that you were the prize. You realized that you were the prize, that life was happening for you and not to you, that you can manifest whatever you put your heart and mind to, and that you had no reason to ever allow yourself to be put in this state. What this energy, when you got into the Queen of Wands energy, also did, it made it so that you realized that this was you allowing yourself to be tied up, and then the perception that you were behind some kind of guard, but that was all of these swords, and ultimately allowing yourself to be blindfolded. If you can look at those are very loose loose constraints. And so once you realized and stepped into that Queen of Wands energy, you started creating something from nothing. See how on the side of this card, there's a sunflower and it seems like it's just growing out of nothing? Well, at the end of the day, she's holding it, and it seems like a cut off flower. But you can see that it's probably more vibrant than any other flower you've ever seen. And the reason is because she's manifesting with it. And she is a queen of manifestation. So what that also led you into was a newfound embodying of abundance. So now you have a self-worth and a directive that is leading you into a new level of abundance. It's leading you into the authority and the self-worth that comes with having those kind of actions, that kind of direction and orientation in your life, which all came from you getting over carrying the burdens of others, carrying not only all of the weight that you had to hold for yourself, but also taking on the responsibility of others. And you actually did it well. Okay, but it was strenuous, it was hard, it was almost heartbreaking, and it was demeaning in a lot of ways. So what it did was it led to some words being exchanged, okay? And I don't know exactly what words or how that came out, but ultimately it led to a misunderstanding or a conflict of interest that led you into a new state of abundance and a new level of expressing your emotions. So when you started expressing your emotions differently and feeling different on the inside, more importantly, well, it started opening doors to a higher level of abundance for you. And what this equals is a structural abundance. So this is consistent stability. This is a pay increase or a promotion, or this can be a new business flourishing. And it can also be a new business venture or a new business partner in some cases. So let's go ahead and clarify that Ten of Pentacles energy. Let's see. Well, strength did want to come out. So through your new safety that you feel on the inside, as well as through you taming fears. So this is you stepping out of your comfort zone, as well as utilizing that energy of the infinite, the energy of the elements, the energy of duality to manifest your goals. So in this situation, you can consider the maiden or the woman to be that compassionate, understanding, nurturing, caring, supportive side. And you can see the lion as being the aggressive, more volatile, in many ways primitive, but very much more volatile side, and also that side that houses those fears, doubts, worries, grief. And this is that higher understanding or that higher consciousness coming in and taming and soothing those fears, releasing those worries and those doubts, and seeing you into a future that ultimately leads to that Ten of Pentacles energy. So that was what you embody. Let's see if we can get one more clarifier card. Woo! And what one to come out. Look at that. Look at that. So that was your last clarifier card for the Ten of Pentacles energy. So what that shows me with the sun coming out in such a just an unimaginably miraculous place like this, for the sun to come out when we're talking about the Ten of Pentacles energy, we're talking about your new embodiment of the Nine of Cups energy. We're talking about you're already showing up as the Queen of Cups when you just show up. This is a new found, not only direction in your emotional availability, your emotional stability, your emotional intelligence, but also the way that you direct it and express it in the world, which is leading you into a new level of abundance through whatever you're creating. Or maybe it's just your energy, you're more abundant, and so there's a deeper flow of true tangible abundance that's coming to you, and that can come in numerous ways for any of you out there. So don't look for it to be in any certain type of way. And what is coming through with the sun energy specifically, what I'm channeling in, is that this is you opening up your mind. Okay, you can see that the child is on the horse and he just seems like he's just full of playfulness, and then he has the sunflowers, as if your Queen of Cups energy has now manifested the abundance, the multiplication of those sunflowers. Remember on the Queen of Wands card, which you can see that sunflower, and then there it is again. So now with this kind of inner child or inner youth energy, we see that this is opening our mind. In one of my past readings, I did reflect on the fact that right now we should be opening our minds, being more curious about life, having and approaching life with a more childlike curiosity versus being judgmental about our situation or the way that things are turning out for us, are establishing themselves in our lives and the experiences that we are giving ourselves, ultimately allowing ourselves to have in our life. And so because we're opening up and opening our minds and being more insightful about the way that things can come through and the experiences that we're going to allow ourselves to have, well, that opens us up to this sun energy and to this Ten of Pentacles energy. So this specifically is coming from your mind being open to new ideas. Okay, so that's a strong message coming through with that. And let's go ahead and get you some messages of light so that we can get you on your way and to a very blessed day. So the three cards that want to come out, and I guess I'll give you a fourth one for the bottom, right? Because they said three and then I always do a bottom one. And so the card number one, Attain Serenity. Attain Serenity says, I no longer let myself be swept into the turmoil of my mind and emotions. And this goes back to the balance. From now on, I let go of all stress, tension, and worry so I may attain harmony and serenity. I will do one thing at a time and savor each moment in present. So this reminds me of being present, of always, like I said, approaching life with that sun energy, making sure that we are coming from a curious and innocent place of just wanting to know more, wanting to experience more, wanting to learn more. And in that, we will expand our horizons, open our minds to new insights, and ultimately to this newfound higher abundance and stability in life. And also, we want to be making sure that we are having that strength energy where we are taming the negative internal dialogue, the insecurities, the fears, the worries, the doubts. Release them, and accept anything that you would even deem as failure, that you could possibly see as failure. See it as feedback. Every time that something A doesn't work out like you thought it should, understand that protection is redirection, okay? And redirection is rejection. So every time you get rejected, you've been redirected and you've been protected. So you don't have to worry about if things aren't working out the way that you foresaw them in your mind, because you know that you are already on the way to whatever you are desiring. And that is a huge part of attaining that serenity, where we have that peace of mind and we've released those fears and doubts. So I definitely love that. Let's get us the second one. Teaching. Teaching comes out for you. And what it says is, I pay attention to what life has to teach me. From everywhere I hear the teachings of truth. I am guided on my path towards unity. It is important for me to be aware that events do not occur at random. There is always a reason. Everything is here for me. God takes many forms to teach me. Am I listening? So this card speaks of making sure that we're listening to our surroundings. We're seeing the beauty in everything that we can possibly experience in anything that we're going through. And ultimately, we're also tapping into our breath, tapping into the way that we feel, tapping into our body, tapping into our presence so that we can establish a firmer and a deeper connection with our surroundings and with the insight, guidance, knowledge, and all of the opportunities that truly are available to us in life and that are teaching us to have a deeper experience and teaching us the way that we would be most fulfilled embarking on. So let's get that third one, and it is releasing. So I'm not surprised to see with teaching and attaining serenity that releasing is coming up, because obviously with releasing, we're releasing self-doubt, we're releasing fear, we're releasing a lack of self-worth, we're releasing the fact that we don't belong, we're releasing our insignificance, we're releasing having to be perfect, we're releasing the fear, the internal dialogue, we're releasing the worries, we're releasing the doubts, we're releasing the grievances, right? So, and we're releasing the grudges. I love it. And so the card says, I release all grudges, all judgment, all unforgiveness. I express those things that hurt me, those things that upset me, all that I perceive as duality. My words allow me to release any heavy crystallization within me. As I share my feelings and assert myself, I release, I regain my lightness of being. And this goes back to the serenity, and this also, when we release the grudges, we release the judgment, and we release the unforgiveness, it opens our heart and it gives us a centered, grounded balance that allows us to finally experience not only the finer things in life, but to ultimately experience a higher level of vibration and emotion that leads to a deeper and more fulfilling manifestation in our lives. So, big messages here. I'll go ahead and let you know what was on the bottom. On the bottom is I am harmony. So this is our last message of the day, and that is I am harmony. I love this. So I am harmony says, I do not get involved in the sadness or darkness around me, for it does not belong to me. If there is anger or oppression, I push it aside. I center myself and create a protective bubble around me. In my bubble, I live in the light and I am harmony. Oh, beautiful. And see her, she's in her little bubble, and it's just like so pristine and beautiful, and it's kind of in this barren land, and it's just like this amazingly abundant and beautiful bubble that she's in. So that is that is the embodiment. That is the vibration that we're embodying now. We are being that harmony, and we are allowing the world, our reality, the universe, however you want to see that, to reconfigure itself around our harmony, around our vibration. So that's the message that's coming through for you guys. Amazing. Congratulations again on your amazing abundance, on all the work that you've done. You did it, and it is paying off, whatever it is. So a big message coming through right here in the end is have patience, a little bit more patience, and understand that life is happening for you, not to you. You are already embodying the predominant creator in your own life. You are living your true nature and purpose just by trying and attempting and accomplishing the fact that you are creating the life you love. So as always, I love you all unconditionally. Thank you. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for subscribing. If you are not a subscriber, please do consider subscribing. I would love to have you in my soul family. Otherwise, I will see you all in my next reading.